Dalvin Cook just had another, I think, 1,200, 1,300 all-purpose season, 8 or 10 touchdowns. You know, we're used to seeing him put up those kind of numbers because of what he can do in the receiving game, what he can do on the ground for a team. He's only 27 years old. It's crazy. People think he's way older because of all the injuries he's dealt with, but he is only 27. Do you guys think Dalvin Cook has a lot left in the tank? What teams are threats to sign him? And what team really do you think he'd be the biggest impact on? I have one in mind. I think you guys might say it, but I'll let you guys go ahead. Joe, you can go first on this one.
Well, you know, I like Dalvin Cook, and last year he was one of the guys that I was talking up in fantasy football, and I don't understand what the hell the Minnesota Vikings are doing. I never understood this. Ever since they said we might trade him or cut him come June, I was like, what? Why? But whatever. Minnesota, you want to get rid of him? Here's a couple teams that I'm looking at. Maybe the Bears, the Jets, Cowboys, Dolphins. Maybe go play with his own brother, right, in Buffalo. The Rams are one of the teams. But I think the best fit for him going into next season is come on over to the AFC West and you play with the Denver Broncos. They're waiting for Javonte Williams to come back. But no, you go in there and you play with Sean Payton. You saw what Sean Payton has done with his running backs before. He's going to make you even better, and he's going to feed you the damn ball with Russell Wilson there. I think the Denver Broncos would be a great fit. They have the money. They can get him in there.
So the Bears would have Foreman. They would have Khalil Herbert. They drafted Roschon Johnson from Texas, who might be the best running back on the team. And then they would also have Dalvin Cook. That's too much.
You're going to tell me that you're going to be like, Foreman or Dalvin Cook? Who are you picking?
No, I'm just saying, but they've already committed resources to it. It's not like they're both on the open market and you're going to pick one. Like, they've already given Foreman some money. Now you got to give more money to that position. Ryan Pace is smarter than that.
They got money for days over there. Print it up.
One of the things I'm learning about the Vikings, and I'm hearing a few more other shows that I listen to talk about it, is that the Vikings GM, and I looked up his name, I'm going to try and say it right, Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah, is an analytics guy. He likes numbers, and he's looking at a lot of this stuff and going like, here's the budget, here's what they are. We're following the trajectory of how many carries running backs have, where they start to go, what can we do, how does this benefit our team, bringing in analytics as far as building defense and offense. And if you look at the Vikings offense, it is at wide receiver position. They're like 5 deep. They might want to throw the ball 50 times a game this year. Like, that just might be the plan, where it's like, hey, we're happy with Alexander Mattison. We drafted Ty Chandler last year. We got the kid, Dwayne McBride from UAB. Like, we have enough running backs. We're going to run the football just fine, but we're throwing it with Kirk Cousins. That arm is going to fall off for whatever team he plays for next. Delvin, do you want to win or do you want to get paid? Because if you want to win, you go to the Bengals. You go, like, Joe Mixon's there, so you're going to be able to have a two-headed backfield in that one. The other team I like is, I think the Rams are going to be sneaky good as long as Matt Stafford can stay healthy this year. I think the defense is going to be a little bit bad, but if you could go there and share a backfield with Cam Akers, like, I think Dalvin Cook's at that point in his career where maybe limiting him to sort of that early Alvin Kamara workload, where you start looking at a guy who's going to touch the ball 16, 18 times a game, as opposed to getting to 20 to 25 every game. That might be better in the long run for him. So I like the Rams and the Bengals.
Yeah, I think that he's going to go to a contender. I think that's what he's going to do. This is actually Zero. Put this in the chat. He said, you see the guy on TikTok who thinks that there's 42 running backs better than Dalvin Cook? That was Theo Ash, and that was probably his worst take of his life.
I do. You guys were giving me a hard time last year because remember I said, like, there was a point in the season where I text you guys and I go, I think Dalvin Cook is cooked. Like, I think that it wasn't good. And then he had the big game and the comeback. He had big splash plays in that game against the Colts, and he had some other big games. But he's got that shoulder subluxation where it just pops out randomly, like it's just out, and he's wearing weird braces. At a certain point, you just take a beating at that position, and you start looking at where's the hill for the other side.
We're talking 42. I mean, that's all 32 starters and 10 backups.
Let me just off the top of my head, let me see how many I could go real quick. Tyler Algier, Pollard. He probably put Bijan ahead of him. If I go to I'll just start AFC East. Ramondre Stevenson is ahead of him. Breece Hall is ahead of him. Travis Etienne, like I could see it. I'm not saying that 42 are definitely better, but I could see getting down to like around 30.
We'll see what happens. I think Miami would be a good spot for him. He could join a committee there. They run a lot of outside zone runs and stuff, and that's kind of what his specialty is to stretch the defense out. And then once he sees that crease, he just explodes into it. If he still has explosion, if he doesn't, then I guess it wouldn't work out. I think that he'd probably like living there too. A lot of people like living in Miami, Florida, I heard.
Yeah, isn't he from there?
I think so, actually. Yeah, he went to Florida State.
He had the 6th most rushing yards last year.
Yeah, I still think he's got juice left in the tank. I don't think that he's the 43rd best running back in the league. I still think he's a top 20 running back, personally. Please like the video. Helps us out a lot. We're going to be posting clips throughout the week, I'm sure. So check those out as well.